flower folks, welcome to Sheer Inspirations. My name is Sheer and I'm a botanist and a horticulturist, founder of Sheer Inspirations, located in Southern California, High Desert Zone 8B9A borderline. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to grow, harvest, fertilize, and vase life tips for Rudbeckia Hirta, Irish Eyes variety. This plant is also commonly known as green-eyed Susans or Gloriosa daisy. This is a native North American species of plants and makes a great cut flower with a phenomenal vase life of 7 to 10 days. It is winter hardy perennial from zone 4 to zone 11. It will multiply not only by self-sowing, but with root divisions as well. It will send out new shoots. I personally got the plant as little seedlings, as you see here, in October of 2018 from a plant friend who resides in Kentucky. And I planted these almost 2 years ago now, and they're flowering for me now. So I wanted to take you on a journey of the growth rate of these versus the vase life, along with how I fertilize and so on. It can take full sun from 8 to 10 hours. That's where I've planted mine. It can also do good in partial sun of at least 6 hours. Here we are in December of the same year, December 2018, and it has taken root. All the four plants that I've planted took root. And here we are 1 year forward in November of 2019. And you notice the florets have grown bigger. However, they're not growing taller. They're just growing wide. So in about 1 year time frame from October 2018 to now here, November of 19, that's how much it grew. And here we are in March of 2020. And it started to grow taller, and probably this year is when I thought that it would flower, and it ended up flowering this year. And here we are in July of 2020, and it's actually producing buds and flowers and so on. This is a drought tolerant plant once established. Its mature height is 4 foot. That's how tall it is here. It blooms from July till first frost. It requires moisture in well-draining soil, but does not like standing water. This is an easy care plant for containers as well. It is not particular about soil. It can do great in loamy soil and acidic soil. I am using my homemade fertilizer smoothie that I have shown you guys how to make from kitchen scraps and kitchen waste, using vegetable peels and fruit peels and so on. And I give it to this plant in the growing season, in the entire growing season, every 2 to 3 weeks, about 3-4 tablespoons full, and then I water that in, and the plant seems to thrive and love the fertilizing. If you don't have if you don't want to make a homemade fertilizer, you can certainly purchase the organic fertilizers that are high in phosphorus and potassium, making sure that they're not high in nitrogen, otherwise they will produce a lot of green growth and not enough flowers. And here are the flowers actually blooming for you to harvest. Now you can do a few things here at this point. You can cut the flowers short stemmed and use them in lower, shorter arrangements, or wait until they all bloom out and cut longer, taller stems for longer arrangements. I personally like to cut shorter arrangements so I don't have to give up my flowers, because at that point when everything is flowering, I will have to sacrifice a few blooms. But instead of doing that, I like to harvest the ones that are open and use them in shorter arrangements. That's what I enjoy. But that's a totally optional thing. You can even leave the seeds, the seed heads, for winter interest if that's what you wanted to do. They make great dried flowers. You remove the petals from them, the green heads dry out very well and remain in their color for a very, very long time. Here I have all of the flowers that I have harvested, and don't worry if they look a little floopy and so on. As soon as you put them in water, they're gonna perk right back up and give you about 7 to 10 days of vase life when harvested in this condition. Okay, now as for the plant itself, the more you deadhead, if you don't want to use them for cut flowers, and if you want to deadhead them once the flowers are fading and done blooming, it will produce the next show later on in the season. It can be divided with root divisions every 5 years. That's how I have gotten mine. I've gotten mine, as you saw me doing, in October of 2018 with root divisions of small seedlings that my plant friend sent me. And here we are 2 years later, I'm harvesting flowers. This is the first year that I have harvested flowers from this plant. It does not have any fragrance, however, it is a butterfly magnet. The addition to cottage gardens and informal gardens of this plant, you want to keep in mind that you want to put it in an area where it's visible to the eye because of its unique characteristic of the green eyes in the green heads of the flowers. As far as diseases is concerned, it is susceptible to gray mold if air circulation is poor. I live in a very highly windy area. I am in the Southwest desert, and that's not a problem here. So I have not seen any mold or anything of that sort. If you are in southern states like Florida, where humidity is high, Mississippi, and all the areas with high humidity, you want to make sure that you place it in an area where there's good air circulation so there's no mold. As for pests, deer tend to avoid this plant. But then again, we all know if deer is hungry, it's going to eat whatever. I have not seen aphids on this plant either. If you have that problem, you can use the organic insecticidal soaps or hose them down with water. But even though I had aphids on my roses, this plant did not get any aphids. This is a wonderful plant for the cottage cutting garden to add in the back or in the front. If you are wanting to grow a wildflower meadow, this is a great native to add. I have added here my Amber Mackenzie Crocosmia along with red yarrow and Shasta daisy along with gladiolus and a canna lily leaf, and made this beautiful arrangement along with the butterfly bush in the back for spike, and I put it all in a blue vase, and I fell in love with how everything turned out. I hope you give this plant a shot and grow it in your garden and tell me how it turns out for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.